You should be live now. All right. Yep, they should be able to hear you. Wait. Okay, now they should be able to hear you.
Hey, here you go.
Okay. And then, all right. Welcome everyone. Finn, what's up? Vishal. I think it's because of the crazy time. There's like people I don't think I've ever actually seen in stream before. All right. All right. The reason why we're streaming at this time, usually, oh, like there's a red line over there. Osno. The reason why I'm streaming at this time is because Toby, who is joining us today, is where are you again? Are you in Australia?
Yeah, Australian. Yeah.
And then what time is it there right now?
It's 1 a.m. for me.
Oh my god! And then you actually woke up at 1.
Yeah, I woke up like half hour ago. Yeah.
So then he's just gonna stay up and go to work. I feel really bad, but thank you for your contribution. Okay, so let's see. I don't have everything fancy set up. Okay, so Toby is, I don't even know how to describe what you do. You're like, you're not our stats guy or data guy, right? Like obviously Saul does most of it, but like Toby is very valuable to the data team because he has a lot of connections and resources. And you know, he also helps, and also he's like a I don't know, he's like a glue guy in the community in 3092. You know, make everyone more comfortable, and he's a good fighter, right? So I first met Toby, I don't know, a few months ago during our account mentoring, and then he has since joined our kingdom, right? So it's good to have you in here. Okay, so let's actually have you. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's pull this up. So if you guys haven't seen this before, this is the battle simulator. And the Quacken. Can you please test Ethelfled and YSG pairings? Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not gonna pair Ethelfled and YSG together. If you have like a compelling reason, I'll do it. The Quacken. Vishal, what country are you from? Originally, I'm from Taiwan, but I'm in the U.S. now, and I think Toby is in Australia. Okay, yeah. But anyways, this battle simulator, right? So I actually misspoke on my video saying how this could do 5 on 5. I knew you could do like 5 on something, but you can actually do 5 on 1. Right, so you only saw my video, so with my voice, you thought I was a middle-aged white man. That's interesting.
You got the middle-aged thing right.
You got the middle-aged thing right. Mad Mata, what's up, man? All right. So with this battle simulator, let's talk about some of the pros and cons. Which of all, it's you know, I've talked to Specco before. This is like a rock engineering marvel, right? So like when I say pros and cons, it's not really disparaging it. It's just, there's just limitations, right? So something like this, it's still going to be dueling, right? Because essentially what it's simulating is every turn you're connected to someone else, and I get why you can only do 5 on 1, because the 5 on our side is going to be targeting the 1 dummy march, if you will, which we're going to use Nebgion the whole time. And you actually have to pick a march for the Nebgion to target, and because I don't plan on subbing out Ragnar Scipio, every single test we're going to actually have the Nebgion target Ragnar Scipio. For that. Okay, so for this, we're going to do a DPS test. I think I was just thinking, like, out of all the possible things we could test, like what would actually be kind of relevant, that, you know, you could take some data away. By no means does this reflect open field, right? So for example, if I was going to do 5 on 1 and I subbed out say like Scipio for Sargon, I'm pretty sure the Sargon will actually lead to higher DPS, right? Because part of the weakness of Sargon is that you know, you have to stay connected for 5 seconds for the active skill to fully take effect. For this one, you are staying connected, which is why Sargon's so good at duels. And Sargon makes the target take a lot more skill damage, right? Which all the other March is going to benefit. Another commander that will probably benefit pretty well in this would be Boudica. Right? Boudica has I think it's like 30 or 40% skill damage taken increase with her active skill. And then obviously for a test like this, a single target commander will make like a bigger impact, right? So there's a lot of holes. Like basically, I'm saying this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing from this you should just take as like gospel and just use it, right? Okay, so let's see what some people are saying. Do you know how to speco code Phillips expertise? I actually don't. And the other thing, actually, that's interesting. I wanted to bring up. Unless Speco has some kind of like connection where he got info where he shouldn't, Lilith never released their damage formula. So for the people that even care about it and use it, what they use, as far as I know, is something that Wick Gaming came up with a few years ago now, right? And he even said in the video, it's not the actual formula; it's this approximation of the formula. And up to 10,000 troops, when you use a formula, it matches. But once you get above 10,000 troops, Lilith actually has some kind of damage modifier that the numbers actually don't match up one for one. So not only do we not know the formula, even the formula we have isn't the actual formula. So if I'm gonna guess, I think Speco is probably really good at math and coding, obviously, right? So unless he had some inside connection where he knows Lilith's actual formula, it's also an approximation, which is why you just take all this with a grain of salt. Now, but from what I've seen, as far as duels, right, his battle simulator has predicted dueling results really, really well. So just something fun to use. But like this one, the most important thing we're going to use is actually how many turns it takes to get rid of the dummy march, right? So 5v1, if something takes 15 turns as opposed to 20 turns, it has higher DPS, right? So one thing we're going to test, right? Because, like I'm I'm known as a whole hater. I don't hate him. I just, I'm just saying like there's other commanders that are better, right? But like I suspect if we sub in Belly and sub out Hua, right? Change the paradigm a little bit. Overall, the DPS of the 5v1 should be a little bit higher. You have anything? Any thoughts on that, Toby?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never used Toyo, so I'm not a hater on that, but we'll see. Yeah, but you'd have to be able to see pretty clearly who does the more DPS. But yeah, like you said before, the hard thing is like there's a lot of buffs and stuff that don't show in this. Like for example, like Ragnar's Drain.
Yeah, you can do Ragnar's Drain, right? But yeah. At the same time, Ragnar's Drain, yes, you add some like attack, but really you're draining the attack off of the people hitting you. Which like for
the march speed side of it and stuff, like you're gonna be hitting more as well. Like when he slows down and stuff, it's hard to do that obviously.
Yeah. Right, but like for something like this, like what we really worry about is how much DPS we're doing in like X amount of time. So, like a commander like ZL, which like one of his big values that he brings is when he launches his active skill, everything he hits does I think like 20% less damage. Right, it actually helps your troops survive longer, which like that's not going to really matter that much in this test. This is just straight up a DPS test, and at the same time, if I had to pick one like metric that I did care about, it would be DPS, right? The faster you can do damage and get someone else off the field, the lower the troop count they have, the less damage they do. Right? That's actually how you win like murder ball fights. So, whoa, just like skipped on screen here. So there's pros and cons. So basically, this is for entertainment purposes. Like I'm fully aware this does not replicate real field, but like when you're using battle simulator, I think this thing is the best or amazing for testing a rally garrison stuff, right? Because like you are staying connected, you are it is like a duel, right? But for open fielding, if you plug Sargon in here, it does better. That's all. Like essentially, you need to know that this does not actually represent everything. Okay. Yeah. So let's kind of catch up on the chat. Let's see. Matt. Yeah, so wait, what is this? I assume that if the primary is active or to trigger Phillips' expertise, it will reactivate the skill right away. Turns out that's not the case. Phillips recast is always a third. What's this dollar symbol? Oh, the third skill to go off. That makes sense actually, because that's one of the reasons why ZL loses a lot of value as a secondary, because ZL's Rage Engine, you want him to be the primary, so like all the skills don't stack on one turn. Essentially, like you're getting all your rage in one turn and you're losing most of it, right? I think if you do it, if he has a primary, you actually get it over like 2 or 3 turns where it's a lot more valuable, right? And then like it's the same thing. Yeah. ZKX. You really like the new video talking about Philip. Sure, Alex's proc is higher, but Philip has a rage debuff. I don't know. I think Lucha Philip will be good. I just probably won't be using that in the field just because like there's a huge hole right now. I have Boudica, and I really want to bring Boudica off the field and then run Philip behind ZL. So if it even works like I think it will be better than ZL Boudica, right? If that's the case, I'd rather run Lucha Alex and then ZL Boudica. I mean ZL Philip, but I think Lucha Philip is probably going to be disgusting. Dino, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I think Dino is my first ever member. I haven't seen you in months, actually. Please test the Trajan Philip. We'll definitely do that. Do you want to mention me during the stream? I don't actually do mentoring on stream. I do it. I mean, it's always in private, but then the public ones, I post a video. The private ones, I don't. But we could come up with something to do it on stream, but not for this one though. Now this one we're testing. All right. Anyways, Philip, not Philip, Toby. Before we get started, any thoughts or anything?
Yeah, I think I've done some sort of quick testing and stuff, and I think he works pretty well with everybody. So
okay,
he's either like close to the, like whatever the meta pairing is, slightly worse, or with some cases he seems a little bit better. So it'll be interesting to do. I haven't done like extensive 5v5 testing. I've done like a little bit of duels and stuff, but yeah, it'll be good to see how this goes.
Okay, yeah. Let me actually turn your volume up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I got sleeping kids in the next room. I don't.
Yeah, that's all right. I say something now.
Hey.
Say something. Say like.
Hey, how you going?
Okay, all right, that's better. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So let's see. On the field here, on the screen here on the bottom. Let's pop this out. Oops. Okay. So on the screen here, we're going to do a baseline test first. Okay, so the baseline, we're always going to be hitting into Nevsky Joan. And then the baseline we're going to do, and you know, for I guess like time purposes, we're just going to do 5 each, which is not a big enough sample size. But we're going to do Luchet, William Wallace. By the way, this is like a strong opinion. If you're going to run that March, Luchet William Wallace does better than William Wallace Luchet. I mean, I already covered this in another video. But if you're running it, try to look at the reports over time and then see which one does better. Like, and it's there's a difference between trades and then straight up just right. So for example, you could trade 8 to 1, but you're doing like 300 damage or 800 damage, 800 sevs to 100 sev, right? Like that's negligible. Then there's also the actual number, like average number of sevs you're dealing per report. Running it on the field the same amount of time as other marches. Luce Wallace, William Wallace, Luce as a primary would do better. So Luce William Wallace, ZL Herman, Ragnar Scipio, Will William, Nevsky Jones. This is like, if you asked a lot of people that had to run 5 marches, what they would run, you know, this will probably be a very popular combination. So we'll start that as a baseline, and then some of the stuff we want to test, we'll sub out one of the marches. I do want one where I throw Belly in there, so we'll kind of move it around. So instead of doing Nevsky Joan, Will William, we're actually going to do Nevsky William and then Joan Belly, right? So essentially, we're subbing out Will for Belly, but just like changing up the combinations a little bit. Let's actually kind of go over some of the stuff we have planned. All right, so some of the commanders that we're going to try messing around with, we'll try subbing in Lucha Philip, instead of Lucha William Wallace. We'll try doing ZL Philip instead of ZL Herman. So that one will be interesting. Because Herman, you would assume with like the poison stacks should help a lot, but it also takes a while to build up. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I talked about the belly. We're gonna sub in belly for Hua. We are gonna also try subbing in Ash Venipal Phillip instead of ZL Herman. You know, just to see how that does. And then we'll try Phillip Trajan, and we'll sub out Hua William for that and see how that does. And then if you guys have any other marches that you're interested in, I would maybe put it in there, and then we have time, or if it's interesting, it's compelling, we'll put it in there.
Yeah.
Scipio or Ragnar as primary. So I would do Ragnar as primary. The skill tree, it just should do better on the field, and also Ragnar does more damage, so you want that just to go first. Don't put Phillip primary to ZL. We're not. ZL is going to be primary. Phillip's going to be secondary, Matt. Okay, so let's start out. Let's actually just run this once, Toby. And I'll actually record this. Let's see. Okay, so that's how it looks when you run it.
Yeah, this is the slow version. You can do the fast, but you can sort of see that it's calculating both.
Okay.
I can quickly run through what's going on, I guess, as well, so you sort of know what's happening.
Perfect.
But so you can click on each individual march, and up the top left here is basically the damage sort of calculator. So how many turns it takes. The proc rate is how quickly you're doing your active skill. It shows turn by turn how much rage you've gained. Obviously all the calculations on your attack, defense stats and that. So if you've been silenced or slowed or whatever. And then you can go through each individual march and get like a sort of basic report on Sev's taken and Sev's dealt. But obviously what we're sort of looking at is the turns taken, which is just 20 for this one, for example.
I mean, while we're at it, why don't we kind of like mark it for Specco, right? Do you know how much it costs? Like, how does he charge? How to reach him? Stuff like that.
He charges through his Patreon, which I can quickly look how much. Yeah, it's just through his Patreon, and he does pretty regular updates and stuff as well. He's got a Discord which he's really active in as well. He's answers a lot of questions and stuff in there, which is good. But yeah, it's like $2 a month, so it's
really?
Yeah.
He charges $2 a month for this?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what, does he have like a Discord or something? Like, how would you get in contact?
Yeah, you get the Discord. I can say a Discord.
Yeah. All right, can you just put it in the chat actually?
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad that I haven't actually gotten this myself.
Yeah, when I found out it was pretty how cheap it was, I was pretty surprised.
All right, and then let's see. Okay, and then we'll mess around with this turn. So, was it the individual reports?
Yeah, so you can sort of see it gives you each one. I'm just recording for my own sort of reports as well. How many Sevs and stuff they're taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it actually shows some like pretty cool stuff. Right? Even like simulates a report. Now we don't care about how many Sevs we have. We don't care about how many Sevs we dealt. Right? Like we just care about how many turns it took to kill them. So we're using 200,000. I guess like if you do a slightly higher number where it runs longer, there's less randomness, right? But we'll just stick with 200,000 for now. So where's the actual turns? Is it
top left?
Top left. Okay, so 20 turns for the first one.
20 turns that time. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll run 5. 20 turns for the first one. Can you do one where it's like sped up, so it's just a lot faster now?
Yeah. Yeah. There's that one.
Like.
So that was 19.
Okay, so 19. And then we'll get to 5. So that's 2. Let's get to 5.
Yeah. 19 again.
Again, okay.
19 again.
Okay.
Last one. 20.
20. Okay, cool. Okay, so oh, by the way, let's actually go over why we chose the equipment. All right, guys, I won't be able to really keep up with chat and run through this, so sorry. But the reason why we chose the equipment, right? So for the Cav, we're doing the KVK weapon, KVK helm. I mean, you can see on the screen here, Ash of the Dawn, the bars control, and the set chest and the set boots. In general, if you think about it, right, like you've seen testing with no equipment, you've seen testing with like some equipment, testing with best of the best. Like, how do you decide which one to use? So obviously, the more equipment you have, the more stats there are, and then depending on which combination you want to go, some will get more health, some will get more defense. Right? Like, but like, what's the how does it change the results if you have no equipment versus if you have the best of the best equipment, right? It changes basically how impactful stats are, right? So if a commander is adding, for example, 35% health, right? If the equipment actually already has health, then the impact of the stats will be less. Whereas if you just have like a naked commander with no stats on it, right, and then the commander itself is bringing 35% health, that health will actually make a bigger impact on the results, right? So for example, if you're going from 0 to 30, well, let's just say you're going from 30 to 65% health, you're adding 35, right? That's a huge change. That's over 100% change. But if you're going from like 200 to 235, you're adding the same amount of health, but that's actually a lot less. So that's actually kind of the impact of having equipment or not. Now that's a very basic example, right? Because there's like infantry straight up, like at the end game, it just doesn't have health unless you're talking about some of the base health stuff you get from like accessory, and then like Cav have a lot more health, right? But in general, my thinking on testing for equipment is just pick something that's like kind of in the middle, maybe on like the better side, right? Because that is probably where if you're looking at like a standard deviation curve where most people fall, most people are going to fall close to the middle, right? Maybe some people will have a little bit worse equipment, some people have a little bit better equipment, but like if you put in like Awaken 5 all crit, right? That's going to be that's going to be pretty far from most people. And then if you have just no equipment on there, one, the stats on the commanders will make a big, like a disproportionately bigger impact. And also that's pretty far from where most people are at that are watching this. So in my opinion, we just decided to go Awaken 1 for everything, right? So basically just have an Iconic Crystal in there. For the infantry, actually, I mean, you could do that too. We'll just keep it at this point. Originally, I was thinking you just do the 4-piece Internal Empire, so the set weapon and the set helm, right?
Oh, sorry, I did that on the other one.
Huh? Yeah,
I
but
did
like,
that on LC.
okay, yeah, but at this point, let's just keep it. So it's just like consistent every time. But like, that's kind of why we decided to go with that, right? But I do think if you had to give me a choice, no equipment at all or best of the best, I would rather have best of the best because when you just have no equipment, even if you have something like in the middle, right? Like it that. But let's see, how do I want to word this? It's early. My brain's not working. Having no equipment is probably the worst you can do, because like that will be the furthest from where most people are at in real life, right? Whereas if you have the best of the best, as the equipment gets better and better, you have to spend a lot more mats and blueprints to get less and less of an improvement, right? So something could look amazing, like Awaken 5 crit, right? Like that will still be closer to what we have here than just having no equipment. So that's kind of the thought process. Okay. So
and even in my testing, I've found that like naked is very different to even like a basic set gear as well. So
yeah, now that's not to like again, it's not shouldn't because like you have to understand this is a battle simulator, right? So we can easily just change out the equipment and run it. Like we could even speed it up. So like you could get to 20 turns in like 5 seconds, right? But if you have someone else where okay, everyone's equipment is at a different level, right? So like, how do you actually make it fair? And a lot of the testing I've seen is they want to do duels, right? So to make it fair, well, fine, just no commander gets a equipment. That's the easiest. No equipment, no armaments. That's the easiest when they make it fair, right? So I get the thought process there, but just know like when you have the results there, right? You have someone like Charles Martel with his third relic. If you're doing a naked test, that third relic where you get 50% infantry attack, it's just gonna weigh a lot more than if you had like the equipment we have on the screen here, right? So that's kind of the trade-off you have. Okay, so let's calculate this. So 5 turns, 20, then 19, 19, 19, and then 20, right?
Yeah.
That is 19.4 turns on average. Okay, so that's the baseline. And then what should we test first? Let's just throw in LC Phillip instead, and then we'll sub out LC William Wallace. Now this one's interesting. I don't know how it's gonna go. If I had to take a guess, I think overall the DPS will be faster. In this scenario, the LC William Wallace should be doing more damage as an individual march, but William Wallace doesn't really benefit the other marches too much, right? I think he throws a shield down for other marches, but Phillip is straight up making all 5 marches take 20%, do 20% more damage, and then his march would do 40% more on top of that. So I would expect this overall to be faster. So let's run it 5 times. Let's see what it is.
22.
Oh, it's worse. Okay, and then oh, it's just gonna be worse. Okay, keep going. All right, Phillip sucks. We're not using him anymore. 22. 21. All right, it is just worse.
20. Yeah.
20. Okay. So then the average turns is going to be let's do this math here. $21.2.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, like only 5 is not a lot of doesn't allow for a lot of variation in like
what's up
outliers and stuff as well. So
say that again. What doesn't allow?
I mean, like only running like 5 simulations obviously doesn't give us much in terms if there's an outlier or whatever.
Yeah, but like for this one, I think it's pretty clear. It's just gonna take longer, right?
Yeah.
Now, I wonder why it's taking longer.
I mean, you can nearly go into like the data and sort of watch it turn by turn, and you can see. But
interesting.
Like you can look turn by turn, and you could sort of really look into it if you wanted to.
Like who's doing more damage? Interesting.
Yeah, like you can get really into the nitty gritty in this, and you could like, you could spend forever looking at the numbers and trying to.
Wow, this one just did it in 18 turns.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
All right, let's well here, let's run through all of this, and then we can like come back and mess around with this. That actually surprised me a little bit.
Alright, go back to work. Do you want to do ZL next?
Let's do let's try it. That was like I did not expect that. Who knows? Okay, next we'll do ZL Phillip instead of ZL Herman.
Yeah.
Lack of 40% damage on LC's active. So William Wallace actually that 40% only increases William Wallace's active skill, but not Luchez from what people found, which is one of the reasons why I think William Wallace wasn't trading significantly better than Alex. You know, because I thought originally when we saw the kit William Wallace, we thought that 40% was gonna potentially boost Luce and William Wallace, and if it boosts Luce, and then that's a 5 target AOE and it's doing the damage, like that would have been disgusting. I think it only boosts William Wallace from the testing I saw. Okay. So you have the ZL ready? ZL Philip.
Yeah.
All right. So let's run it. Let's see.
22.
Wait, hold on. All right.
22.
22. It's straight up just going to be worse every time. Every commander we try with
21.
21. Okay.
21.
21. Okay. And then
21.
21. All right. That's even worse than let's see. Plus 21.4. Okay, so that's the lowest one so far. And that's ZL Philip, right?
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. And then let's try. Okay, let's actually try this one. This was the third one we want to try it. Let's do Nev William and Joan Belly. And we're subbing that out for instead of Nev Joan and Will William. So let's see how that looks.
I'll just change these around quickly.
Let's see.
Cool.
Nev William. I mean, like Williams kind of useless when there's one target, but we'll keep him in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Cool.
Oh shit.
19. 19.
19. Okay.
20.
20.
18.
18.
19.
Okay. Ah, see? Belly is better than Horde. I'm just kidding.
By 0.2 turns on average.
Let's see. Okay, it's like 19.
That's good.
So yeah, so with Horde in there was 19.4. Belly was 19 turns on average. Okay. So I wonder why Philip is not doing well in this.
Yeah, and I also don't know how he calculates the everything as well, but I'm assuming that how it's calculated is that the buffs affect every march as well, or I don't know if it only affects the marches that it's next to, or however it works exactly, but
hard to tell. Yeah, it's but it's at I mean, because like when you didn't put in Philip, it jumped up again, right? So with the Philip in there, without William Wallace, without Herman, it was over 21. The baseline was 19.4. The one with Belly instead of Hua was 19. All right. All right, let's try. Wait, let me take a look at chat real quick. Now run Nevsky, Joan, and Hua Belly to compare. God-wise, it'll definitely do better. You know, hey, let's give the people what they want. It'll definitely do better because for something like this, 5v1, right? You want to think single target damage commanders are also weighed more, which is why like I wanted to sub out Hua versus Belly because they're both single target, right? Whereas like William, he gets a lot of his value from hitting multiple targets, and this one he can only hit one target. But let's actually try it. We'll do Hua Belly, Nevsky William. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Righto.
Uh,
19.
oops. Wait, hold on. Don't run it again after this one.
Oh,
Let's see.
sorry.
So you did 19 and then
19 again.
okay. Wait. So don't hold real quick. Let me see. Okay. Okay. 19, and go ahead.
18.
18.
19.
19.
19.
19, 19, 18, 19, 19. So that one is the lowest so far.
Yeah. That'll be like 18.8 or something. Yeah.
18.8. All right. All right, that's the way to go. Goodbye, Joan. No, that's just not how it is.
Goodbye, William.
Yeah. But that's why that's why I didn't want to. That's why you want to do the 1-for-1. And well, by the way, I'm pretty confident if you want to do the best 4 calves and for this one. Well, let me think. Is there a calf I'm missing? Yeah, like you would actually want to sub out William, and you want to leave no, Joan in there. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, William's probably the 5th now, but
no. Well, it's the one out for me, but that's a different discussion. I'm not gonna. Okay. Next. Okay, let's try Asher Phillip. Oh God, Asher Phillip instead of ZL Herman. Let's see how that does.
I'll go back to Huo William as well. Keep the baseline.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Asher Phillip. Wait, don't do it yet. Let me. I'm recording all of this. Asher Phillip.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, I'm ready.
$22.
Oh God, it's terrible. The Phillip is not
18.
doing well in this simulator. 18. What? All right.
I think because the big thing with this one is Ash is so random that sort of that his expertise or his last skill.
Well, it might be also
21.
it might be yeah, but like I think it's consistent that way. What was the last one?
21.
21, 20,
and then 20.
and then
21 again.
21. All right. I mean, the only thing I can think of is there's just not enough turns, right? So you were talking about like 20 turns. You're getting 2 active skills off. You're not getting 3.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, maybe if you're lucky, like very lucky, you could get 3. But
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Most of these times they're procking at like, from sort of the tests I've done, like the best is like 6.5 seconds for like sort of a Huo.
yeah. So okay. So Asher Phillip instead of ZL Herman is 20.4. Whereas the baseline with ZL Herman is 19.4. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just finish this and then we'll try one where we actually up it to 400k.
Yeah.
Wait, this is wait, well, you know what? We'll still finish this and then we'll do that. I don't want to change it like halfway through just because the data. Okay. Then the last one, let's try Philip Trajan. And that should just be all leadership gear, Awaken 1. And we'll sub Philip Trajan in for Paul William.
I just gotta check the iconic stats on the leadership stuff because I haven't.
Godwise. Goodbye, Mr. Rectangle. No, man. Well, William is the most underrated commander of the game. I don't understand. I understand the William hate. I don't think it makes sense. In my opinion. ZKX, cool. Did you ever cosplay as One Punch Man? I'll get to that after I cosplay as David Goggins. Which one should I cosplay first? Wait. We'll do a poll. Let's see. Which one would I be better at cosplaying? Saitama or David Goggins? I don't know if I want to see the answer, actually. All right.
You've got to cosplay the David Goggins mindset as well, though. That's the hardest part.
David Goggins mindset. No, that was me probably 10 years ago. I'm good.
Just do the pull-up challenge. So there you go.
You can't. You could test Rally Garrison. I just don't. I mean, I don't ever plan on being a Rally Garrison commander, so I don't know. I don't pay attention to it as much as some of the other stuff. Jesse Kerr-Fishin. Anything you missed so far? Philip in this battle simulator sucks. I mean, that's based on what we're doing. We're gonna try to make it 400,000 so the turns drag out and see what happens. Matt, look up who. If you don't know who David Goggins is, I guess look him up. Oh God, David Goggins is winning. All right, you have it. You have it ready? Okay.
Yep.
So this one we're subbing out Will William and we're subbing in Philip Trajan to see. Okay, so let me pull up.
It's the full leadership and then iconic one for everything.
All right, perfect. All right, Philip Trajan. Okay, I'm ready.
20.
Okay, could be worse, could be better, I guess.
20.
20. Oh God.
20.
So it could just be 20 all 5 times. Where's a random? Oh, no, okay.
There you go. 21.
Okay. It's also everything with Philip has been worse for DPS. Okay, so 20.6.
Yep.
Okay, let's try doing 400k for everything. So we'll actually get more turns in there.
Do you want just 400k for the 1 and then leave 200k for the 5 so they don't just kill it?
Oh, just so it takes a little longer?
Yeah, so you get more skills off on the 5. Or we can do all of them as 400k. So like if you're doing all of them at 400k, it's just going to be...
Yeah, so the reason why I'm hesitating is because like 400k is closer to what you're doing running a 50. But if you're doing, if you just want more turns.
We can run 400k for all of them, it's easy.
Wait, let me think. Because when you're running less troops into more troops, it affects the sevs to a degree. Yeah, let's do 200 to 400. Let's see what happens.
It's still 1 million troops into 400,000 troops, so...
Yeah.
Do you want to just do the...
sorry, let's do the...
again?
Yeah, let's do the baseline first. And then... But don't do it yet. Let me start a new...
Yep.
Okay. At 200k with on average like about 19 to 20 turns, the results don't look good for Philip as far as DPS testing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, sorry. Let me see this out. Okay, so now we're gonna do. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, go. This is the baseline, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot more turns. 32 turns? Okay.
Okay. 31.
Yeah, in retrospect, I think we should have done this. Regardless.
34.
Get a couple more skill cycles in.
Yeah, 31.
Okay. Okay. So... 31.8. All right, let's sub out William Wallace for Philip. Let's see how it does.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at chat after this.
$36.
God, this is the worst. Okay.
$35.
It's significantly worse.
Yeah, 34. 34. 31.
31. Okay. Average turn is 34. Let's actually try. I'm gonna throw a loop here real quick. In this one, there's no armaments, right?
No, I don't have any on there. You can add like
Okay,
armaments
like just like
through.
stats and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we probably should, but it's fine. We don't have to. Okay, let's do. So let's actually try. I just want to check. Let's try LC Scipio and then Ragnar Sargon.
Sargon's not in the tester.
Oh, he's not in the tester?
Nah.
Interesting. Okay.
Some of the older commanders he hasn't coded in.
Oh, just didn't even bother. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see, like, I think, because I think if you put Sargon here, it would actually do a lot better. Let's try subbing out Herman, and let's try put in Boudica behind him. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we could like kind of get some results at 33. 33. 32. Well, it's worse than Zio Herman. 35. Which will make sense with a longer turn. You have way more time to build up the poison. Let's see.
Yeah.
$33.2. Let's see what chat says. Novocaine. Oh shit, what's up, man? Welcome be a member, one of our newest migrants. Let's see. Try Trajan primary. Oh yeah, Philip Shajar. You will have a immortal support march. Yeah. The problem with the Philip Shajar one is one, like there's healing. You're just gonna do a lot less damage, right? So like it'll look way worse. It'll look way worse if you run Philip Shajar. And Philip's just been underperforming, but this is just straight up a DPS one. Alright. Final tally. Oh god. 19 votes. Saitama wins. 53%.
Damn.
Ooh. People try running Huo Herman and Artifact KVK with the rage reduction. You get poisons out faster. That's very interesting, actually. That's true.
mean, you can do artifacts.
Yeah, ZKX. Yeah, like I'm not arguing to buff other marches. It's just like in a way this weird. We'll put it in there. Let's sub out Bull William again, right? Because that was the one we subbed out for the buff marches, and we'll put in Philip Shajar. Thanks, Novocaine.
Oh yeah, which even really should be on. Alright, cool.
Alright.
35.
35. Oh god.
$36.
I mean, it's on pace with LC Phillip right now. Let's see.
36.
36. All right, now it's worse.
35. 36.
36. Okay. Yeah, that's the by far the worst one.
Yeah, it's only sort of trading what, like 2.1, where like some of these other ones are trading at like 7 times or
35.6. Okay, so I've seen people. Let me think. Maybe I haven't looked at Trajan's kit too closely. What's the thought process running Trajan before Philip versus Philip before Trajan? That one I don't have a strong opinion on. Like which one would be better?
you gain rage quicker.
You gain rage quicker, right? Because I mean they're both leadership trees. Like I don't think it I don't think there's like I don't know. Let's see what chat says.
You also take 25% more damage.
Like faster?
Yeah, so once you launch your active skill, you'll take, for the next 3 seconds, you take 25% more damage. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, let's see. Whiskey. You just did whole Ragnar against 489. It was the best march by far consistently. I could see that. That's a disgusting amount of skill damage increase. You know what I mean? And then for Ragnar, any march of Philip primary is going to have a huge bullseye on the field. I see. Like I feel like that's like kind of overrated now. Well, let's actually pop out of here real quick, right? So, oh, they're not even fighting, right? So for the most part now, I mean, Toby, do you fight dot mode or do you fight like Zoom?
Dot mode.
Yeah, like I don't actually know anyone that fights not dot mode, right? So if you're doing dot mode, I'm just targeting archers, right? Like instinctively, I'm just targeting archers if I can. I'm not going to get out of position to do it, right? I'll just target whatever is the most out of position where I can get the best advantage. But like all things considered, like I would just target archer. Now, if you do a mixed troop, right? So now you see a little integration symbol. I'm targeting that first every time. Like integration even has priority over archer, right? So like if you're doing a mixed troop, like you're just going to be targeted, not because they see the icon, but because of they in dot mode they see the integration icon. And then the second priority for me is going to be archer. So like I was trying to tell someone the other day, like if, you know, I don't have to think of like how you get in this scenario, right? But if you have YSG, I could see YSG with Philip behind it working, right? And then the argument is like YSG is the biggest target, like, but like if you are playing positioning, right, in a ball, right, like they're going to target archers anyways, but they're going to target the archers that are out of position, right? Like if they see a YSG that's doing really good right on the border, right? Like to actually go out of their way to hit the YSG, they're gonna get melted. So mixed troop is actually probably the biggest target now because of dot mode and not like the commanders that we typically think. Like XY, I mean, he's probably still squishy, right? So you're just gonna like, oh, like, see, I know he's yellow already. I didn't do anything. But it's not because they're going out of their way to target him. It's just because he's way too squishy. You know, so I think this whole idea of like the primary commander being a target, that's like a from a different era that we're kind of still holding on to that idea, but it's not as relevant now. That's just my opinion. Yara plays zoomed in, socks too, like this.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know how you do this, but also like if you're doing something like this, right? Okay, like let's just pretend we're fighting. Okay, come on, guys. Let's just say we're doing something like this. Once things start flaring out, it's very hard to see when your marches are flaring out and into the wrong territory. But also, I feel like there's no situational awareness, right? So I'm playing this. Yeah, maybe I could target. Let's just say I could get away with doing this. How do I know if like another group is coming to flank from behind me? Whereas like in dot mode, I feel like I have way better situational awareness where I can see something coming from somewhere else. I don't just get caught in a position where I get sandwiched. Or if we do see it, you can actually push up against like the flanker earlier. But like I don't know. I'm sure there's something I'm missing. Maybe
is that siege march inside the behind the mountains actually hitting?
Oh yeah, this is awesome. Well, this guy's not doing it, but they were doing it earlier because it's outside the zone. But
yeah,
the ideal position for siege would be something like this, or better yet, there's like a river, right? So you could just shoot over the river. Or the best I think the dream for any siege commander is to actually shoot over a bridge. Because the bridge fights, they just get stalemate on a bridge, right? Everyone's just launching active skills, and then you're just off firing onto people at the bridge. Yeah, but look at this. This is disgusting.
Yeah, damn.
It's freaking Osno. I wish we could actually see what his equipment is for this. This 89 guy should be hitting him, which is why there's a skill that people were recommending that you skip. It's in the engineering tree. It's in the very right side where you do like 12% more damage to other towers. I feel like that's mandatory for every siege now because there's enough siege on here. If you don't take it, you're at a 12% disadvantage, and this happens a lot, right? And like you're trading a little bit of overall damage, but then like you have to take it because you're always getting into these kind of like this kind of pissing contest with their siege, and even if they take you out, if you weaken them enough, right, then they have to go back too. So that's something where I feel like the recommendation should be updated a little bit. All right, let's see what else. You find the hitbox of the strat view worse than the classic dot mode. I really like the new dot mode. What I really don't like is this thing, right? Where they put in these lines. Now, yeah, right. And then when you have it as blue, right? So let's just pretend we're 960, and then you're in dot mode, right? I guess we're a little bit more used to it now, but when we first started fighting that last KVK, like it's like these lines can make it seem like you have way more people on your side than you actually do. It's just people trying to march.
We had more people on our side anyway, so it was
yeah, we had more, but it was just like really hard to see like how many people like like you could see it, right? But like when you're fighting, especially when they just updated it and they really didn't say much about it, and there's no way to turn this off, right? So the positive is you can see where everyone's trying to march, but this is very unfortunate. I wish they at least made it like a slightly different color or something.
Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah. Okay. ZKX, I'd say Trajan primary because of the rage buff. Also, Philip active is not as important primary since it won't DPS much. All right, let's try it. Let's try. Actually, yeah. Why not? Let's do. We'll do a test with Trajan primary and then Philip primary, and then see how they do. Wait, don't do it yet. Let me set this up. Okay, so we'll do Trajan first.
We'll go. We already did that with Philip, so we can just go back to what we did that
Yeah, but
Joining.
that was with less troops, right? So you want to
Yeah,
just go back to less troops?
oh, it's up to you.
Let's just do 400,000, but we'll do the Philip primary, Trajan secondary
Yeah.
again.
Alright.
Let's see. And then we'll do Philip Trajan. So let's do Trajan first.
Yeah. Cool. $31.
I can't wait to get back into KVK. What does fighting even look like?
Yeah, no.
That's so bad. All right. All right, I'm ready for Trajan. Wait, actually, let me pull this up again. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this is Trajan primary now?
Yep.
Okay, let's see it.
30.
30? Really?
31. 30.
Okay, this is actually way better
32.
so far. That's interesting.
30.
30. And there isn't like a noticeable like advantage that you could even argue for Philip primary, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he seems like more of a secondary.
I just like I've never actually used Trajan, so I don't plan on it. I really let's see.
I mean,
This
the active
is
skill in Philip's nice with the
yeah.
you buffing your whole murder ball, your whole ball quicker.
Yeah, this is by far the best one so far. With anything with Philip in it. Okay, so let's try Philip primary, Trajan secondary now. Um, 30.
30.
Okay. 31. Oh my god, it's just like the last one so far.
Oh,
ooh,
okay.
That was bad. All right. $32. I mean, this is where like you can see like the 34 is just gonna throw up the average by a lot, but
yeah, and 33 again. Yeah, you get like one outlier, and it sort of definitely throws the average up.
But still, this is 31.6. I mean, I feel like even with a five of each, like you could be reasonably confident that Trajan primary is better than Philip secondary, right? Here, let's run. And the next one was 33.
The last one, yep, say 3.
All right, let's just actually get to 10 then, and then we'll do 5 more on the other one just to see if 30. Okay. 32. This is number 9. 31.
31.
Okay, so then it's
Wait for Trajan.
31.5 for Philip. Okay, and so let's do the Trajan primary. This will be test number 6. Let's see.
Yeah. 33.
33. God, it's gonna be so close. 32. 31. 34. Okay. Oh god, I want you to be the exact same.
Yeah.
32.
32.
Wow, the second round a test got way worse. All right, let's see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you know, you just need to run it 100 times.
All right, so with Trajan primary, oh my god, it was the exact same. 31.5 as well. So honestly, I'm looking at these results.
Well, yeah, because I guess Philip's gonna buff your ball more, where Trajan's gonna like you're only talking. I mean, yeah, you're talking like 1 second or whatever. So
yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like there's nothing from these results where I'm like, oh, it's very conclusive. Like the only thing that's like conclusive out of all the stuff we've done so far, to me, is that when you put in Philip, besides pairing with Trajan, it has just clearly done worse. You
yeah,
know, it's just
he's
clearly
like
done worse. Now I don't
he's just a
know.
little bit worse than every meta commander like pairing,
Yeah.
which
Now
is like
like for the people that missed the very beginning, right? This is just straight up testing DPS. Like you don't open field like this. Like yeah, when you are surrounding someone, I guess, but like if you're swarming down one march, but that's very interesting. Let's try let's try Godwise. Do Philip Shajar again. Last time you had Zio Boudica in. Really?
do it again.
Yeah, let's try LC Alex too after. So let's do Philip Shajar instead of yep, and then we'll do LC. Let me get on the screen. Um, okay, this one is Philip Shajar. Okay, let's run it. Oh god, 34. 35. I can't remember what Shajar does when she heals someone. Do they do more damage or they just get tankier? I can't remember.
I think they do more damage.
Yeah, so like this thing actually would be amazing. That's actually we're just doing 5. This thing would be
Okay.
amazing at finding out like what is the best swarming pair, right? You do 5v1, you find out like if you're gonna swarm something, like what would be the best. This is actually probably as close as you could get to replicating that. Let's see. The Philips Shajar, right? And we had Zio Herman, okay, is 34. 33.6. So the baseline was baseline was 31.8. All right, let's try LC Alex instead of LC Warren Wallace.
You want who are William back in?
Yeah, we'll do William again.
Yeah.
God, this one should not look good. This is gonna make my LC Alex look bad.
Cool.
All right. 31.
is the double Alex as well, but I
Yeah.
feel like most people on EM have that.
This is actually doing better than I thought it would. 30. What? 32. 35. Damn. Okay.
I think with Alex as well, like that insta proc not going off.
That was like a super outlier.
Yeah.
We won't count this one, but it's just running in 31. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the thing with Alex as well, it relies so heavily on
31.8. So with that 35, it ended up coming out to 31.8, which is actually what the baseline is. But that 35 is okay. With LC Phillip, it was 34. What?
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, so the argument against Phillip is that the 2 seconds isn't long enough, right? So it's not doing as much. I mean, assume like if you were assuming that this battle simulator like has everything like replicating the actual game like close enough and everything.
Yeah.
Like, you had to come up with like a theory for why the Phillip is doing worse. It's just like the 2 seconds is just not long enough, even when you get a double proc, right? Because the 5-year marches are doing 20% more damage. So what chat says. Yeah, Phillip is only 800 damage instant proc to 1. Right. So yeah, so again, like something like this, you're gonna benefit it's gonna benefit single target commanders a lot more. Like if I subbed out. Actually, yeah, let's see. Let's play around with this. Okay. So let's do LC William Wallace.
Yep.
And then we'll do Huo Belly. So Asher Menopal also brings 20% skill damage, but he actually does an extra 1,000 damage factor right to the primary target. I'm trying to think ZL. Let's do Asher Benepal and Herman. And then the infantry. All right, let's try that. Let's try these 5. Just for shits and giggles.
Could find the new meta.
30. Wait. Hold on. Let me record this. Duplicate. So this is LC William Wallace for Belly. Asher Herman. Ragnar. Scipio. And then Nev Jones. Okay. The first one was 30, then 29.
Yep. 29 again.
30, then 29. Then 30. Okay, 30, 29, 30.
Yeah.
31. All right, this is the last one, the fifth one. 29.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so this one was
gonna be better.
higher than the baseline.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've got Belly in there as well over,
yeah,
which we found before.
yeah.
Was
There's
doing
also
better
a
than
single
William.
target. Like, if you're gonna swarm, like you have to have belly
Oh, for
in
sure.
your swarm march. It just, I mean, it's like everyone's doing 12. Like, what's the most you could surround like a structure with? Is it 12x?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 12 or 14.
Yeah, so like, I mean, every one of those marches is doing 12% more damage. It's to that target. It just, you have to have it, right? I think Sargon has to be in there too if you're swarming.
Yeah.
All right, that was down to 29.8. Baseline's 31 points. So that's by far the highest. I think I saw Whiskey say something.
ZL Wallace, LZ Herman, Asher Phillip, Hua Belly, Neb Joan.
Asher Phillip, Wall Belly, Neb Joan. So you want Asher Phillip in there instead of Scipio Ragnar. Ooh. Oh, let's try it. Let's see if it does better. Why not? You have the equipment though, right?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll try Whiskey's combo. LC Wallace, ZL Herman.
Back to
ZL Herman. What was it? Asher Phillip. Neb Jones, ZL Herman, Full Belly, Asher Phillip. Okay.
cool.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
30. Okay. 33. Oh no, it's gonna throw it off. 31. 33. 32. All right. So that's definitely worse. I think Scipio's debuff does make like a big difference because like when you're triggering Asher's expertise, it's all buffs to that march, but like that 30% health debuff for the Cav will come out to like about like somewhere like 14 to 60% more all damage dealt to that march. You know, so I think I just ended up winning out. Let's add this up though. 31.8. That's actually, isn't that the baseline? The baseline is off of 31.8. Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else. Let's see. What do people?
Someone really wants that health red done.
Isaac. Sargon is blasphemous. Listen, Sargon is really good if you wanted to swarm down something, and you're connected, right? Infantry mains are hard on copium, thinking that Sargon was a good invest. I don't think anyone's arguing that Sargon's a good invest now. Mohammed, what do you test? We're actually just playing around with DPS, right? So if you know how many troops there are, right, depending on how many turns it takes to sap face them, you can just kind of determine like the DPS. And we're just trying to figure out, playing around with different combos in a, I guess like a swarming context for 5 marches. Like the impact of each march, right? Obviously there's the individual march, how much damage that march is doing, but then the impact on all the other marches. So I would say the only thing that's been consistent so far is that when you put Philip in, it does worse. Except when you pair him with Trajan, then it does about the same as a baseline. It doesn't mean I think Philip is worse in the open field, but for swarming, it is, and that's important to keep in mind. Now, having said that, though, when we subbed in LC Alex instead of LC William Wallace, um, it was actually about the same as the baseline. But when we put in LC Phillip as opposed to LC William Wallace, the baseline was 31.8 turns. LC Phillip went up to 34 turns. If I had to like, I would say this with like medium-ish, low medium confidence. I think Phillip's active skill it just isn't active for long enough with the 2 seconds. So that was one of the arguments against them, right? Is that like it would be good if it was 3 seconds, but 2 seconds, even if you could get a double proc like every other turn, and it's not.
And you've also got to try and hope that you line it up with your other marches,
the active skills,
skill cycle.
Yeah. Right. So I would say it's kind of weak confidence, like medium, like low medium confidence. I would say he failed the DPS test. Let's see.
I think he'll be good as a. He'll definitely be good as like a buffing march though, for sure.
Yeah. Like... So Matt, it does slower, not worse. That is misleading. No, that's not misleading. Slower means it's doing less damage per turn. If that makes sense, right? Because if you know you have to get rid of 400k troops, if it takes you 10 turns versus if it takes you 30 turns, 30 turns will be slower, right? Quote unquote, slower than 10 turns. But what that's actually reflecting is that you're actually doing less DPS, right? And especially like this is actually especially relevant if each turn is a second, right? Like if you're taking more turns, your DPS is just lower. Wait, are you going to go back to sleep, Toby, or are you just going to go to work?
Probably just go to work.
Oh my god, he's a beast. It's like 2:30. Toby woke up at 1. He's just going to stay up and go to work. I actually feel bad.
It's the things I do for you, mate. It's fine.
Thank you.
Who are Joan?
You actually find that William Wallace LC trades better consistently over Lucia Alex on your other account in long field fights. I completely agree. Right, like if you're just staying connected and it's just active skill after active skill, I would expect William Wallace to do better than Alex. He's just going to be doing more damage. He's going to get fired. Yeah, don't fall asleep, please, at work. Let's see.
It's alright, I'm the boss. I can't find myself. It's fine.
Matt, yes, but you likely took less sevs too. I mean that's hard to tell for this. Like that's why we didn't even look at the sevs because like when you're doing 5-on-1, the sevs number is negligible on the 5 side, so we didn't even look at that. So, but in general, if you're giving me the option where I could take a little bit more sevs, but I could get someone's troop off the field like 20% faster, I would take that all day, right? Because like if you think about what actually wins open fielding, and I'm actually, I don't know, it's funny because I'm another rep I have is like I hate the horn, which I don't. I'm just saying like the rage, the way we think about it is in a dueling scenario, right? Like, oh well, you know, like you want your active skill to fire first, yeah, like, but that's assuming you're staying connected the whole time, right? And then like the horn is more valuable if you're like kind of like yo-yoing back and forth. Rage manipulation, all that stuff actually becomes less valuable because like the more time it takes to end the fight, the less valuable firing one turn faster is. But in general, the more damage you can do, or you could like kind of lower the opponent's troop count, they're going to be doing less damage, right? So like, if you had to give me like one metric that's the most important, it would actually be DPS for me more than anything else, right? Because like you have a really tanky march, but like the more damage you could do in a shorter amount of time, like the more advantage you're gonna have. Tsunami, what's up, man?
To try this one.
So which one?
Who are Joan? You say who joined Ragnar Skippy, Philip Ash.
Yeah, that one's. And what were we subbing? What are we subbing now?
Get rid of
Nevsky
Nevsky.
William. Okay, yeah. This one should. I mean, yeah. This one should do worse than the other baseline, the best one. I think Belly should be part of the 5 if you want to get the lowest DPS possible, right? 34. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, with Philip primary? Ugh.
Yeah. 38. Jesus.
38 turns. Oh my god, that's not good.
36.
36. Okay, this is
36.
this is by far the worst one when it comes to DPS.
38 again. Yeah, it's gonna be like 37.6 or something.
38. Yeah, okay. I'm not even bother calculating that. That was clearly the worst one.
Yeah.
It's okay though, we're playing around with this. Okay. Is there anything else you think we could like? No, it's Tsunami. It's fine, right? It's just it's for science. Is there anything? I really didn't. I feel like I didn't. I felt like we could maybe see a pattern or something. Like it would make more sense. But just looking at. Do we try Trajan Shajar? Let's try Trajan Shajar. Let's go to the baseline and then we'll do Trajan Shajar instead of Trajan Philip. The only thing that I think we can gather from this is in a swarm context, when you're swarming 5 to 1, you're trying to do as much DPS as possible. Philip actually is worse than everything we pitted it against. Like that's. I feel like that's a fairly reasonable conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll record this just in case. So don't run it yet.
Yeah.
This is Trajan Shajar. Okay, I'm ready. Let's see. Oh god, 36. Shajar just does not lead to more DPS. I don't know. All right, let's see.
Yeah, I think with like Shajar, you have to go into the sevs and sort of see what you're doing.
35. Yeah, it might lead to more sevs, but that's normal.
Yeah. 35.
33. Okay. 36, 33, 35, 35, 33. All right, it was just. Oh, we're calculating. $34.4. Yeah, so that's why it is a little misleading when we look at reports. Tsunami, this is actually, Toby said this is like $2 per month or something. You just do a Patreon for Specco. It's a SPE. Oh, there you go. Specco, and then can you type in the link again for Specco if you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is by far the best tool if you want to figure out like, especially for like artifact KVKs, Orleans, want to figure out like combos for a rally garrison, right? And I think even the swarming one is pretty good because when you're swarming something down, you just want to figure out what does the most DPS, like a 5 march combination. I think this would be like really useful. Testing how good a pairing is though, it's not simulating open fielding, so it is what it is. The only other tool is Expedition. Yeah, the only other tool in my opinion, and it's not nearly as good as this, is Sunset Canyon, because you can actually do a 5-on-5, right? You can start switching out like one march, but one, it takes a lot longer. You only get limited number of chances per day, and you
And you
can't
have to
figure
commit
out.
to the commander.
Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, you have to commit to the commander. You can't figure out. I mean, I guess you can figure out how much time it took, as opposed to how many turns, right? But like,
Yeah.
for those of you watching, if you look at a report, and I do this too, right? We tend to focus on the sevs. The reason why we want to focus on the sevs is because the sevs is literally determining how much the opponent or you have to heal, right? So it's going to cost you speed, it's going to cost you resources, but really what matters on the field is getting rid of someone, right? So like, it doesn't really matter if it's like sev wounds or slightly wounded, right? Like that ratio doesn't matter. If they still have troops on the field, they can still do stuff. And also the way sevs work, one, no one knows for sure, but there's some testing I did early on. The longer the DPS, the higher the sevs you're gonna deal. Because when someone's troop count gets closer and closer to 0, a higher and higher percentage of the wounded that they take is sev wound and not slightly wounded, right? So part of the reason why Attila actually does so well is because Attila has a very low DPS, right? So like every time you're not doing a big active skill, you're doing the white damage, and then as your troop gets lower and lower, a higher percentage of the wounded becomes sevs, and that's why you're farming sevs. Now that's really good for like having like cool looking reports where you farm a lot of sevs. It doesn't win you in ball fights, right? So like there's a distinct difference between trading well and then actually being effective on the field. Ideally, you could trade well and be effective, but like don't fall for the trap of like finding these like commanders that trade really well, and then thinking like they're gonna be effective. They're gonna annoy someone when they look at the reports, but they're not gonna win you ball fights because they just don't do enough damage in a short amount of time. Tsunami, I'm thinking about upgrading my setup with a second Archer March. Currently have 3M, 2 cap on Archer, with Archer being ZL Herman. Which would I choose for a second Archer March? So, for sure, like if you had to pick like the other Archer, you would have to go with Ashurbanipal. The problem with Ashurbanipal is I don't think he's like a good long-term investment. He doesn't really bring anything besides, he does AoE, he does like skill damage increase that will keep him around. Like he could be replaced, right? Whereas like Herman, like you have to replace the poison to really replace Herman. Like ZL, right? He has like a good, really good debuff. And he also does a 5 target. It's just like Asher would be like, honestly, you would want to run probably like Asher YSG, or like Asher YSG, or like Herman YSG and then like ZL Asher or something. It's just as a investment, he's not like a long term investment, even though he's like definitely going to be part of the second best Archer March right now. And if you can, right, you just run some combination of Philip, Asher, Herman, and ZL to make your 2 Archer Marches. Because there's enough good infantry options where you don't have to use Philip behind LC. Mike Hawk, what's up, man? LC Philip has been performing well for you. Scipio Philip has been performing well for you. I can see that.
Yeah, from my testing, LC Philip's been it's been alright. Especially I was in like a duel.
LC Philip?
But even in the ball testing, yeah, he's been pretty good.
Is it just from the battle simulator, or have you been using him?
Yeah, no, just the battle simulator stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your plans for? How many marches are you running right now?
I've got 5.
What are you running?
So.
Are you the one? Are you doing 3M?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was, but then I got me and Gino have.
Oh yeah. You manifested.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did run 6 marches our last KVK with 3 inf.
Yeah. Okay.
And the 2 archer, 1 cav.
Yeah. So what's your plan for Philip?
Yeah, no, because I've got Trajan and half a leadership set, so I'm tempted to go into him as like a sixth or a seventh.
Okay.
I need to get a second cav though.
But you're one archer right now, two inf, two cav.
Uh, two inf, two archer, one cav.
Okay.
But the one of the inf is inf gear, but crit for leadership.
Oh, and is
So
that
that's why.
okay?
So it could be like a Philip.
Oh God.
Oh no, yeah,
Philip
it's hard.
Philip Philip Trajan it is. Well,
Yeah,
let me think.
but then I don't get the crit bonus anyway because they're not infantry commanders. I mean, sorry, oh no, sorry, yeah, I'd still get it because they're the leadership commanders. But then I'd have to be running all.
Yeah, so like
Um,
you're almost like for you specifically, you're almost hoping like Philip LC or something is
yeah,
disgusting good.
um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because
ideally. But
yeah,
I've got my next thing is definitely going to be the second cav march. So I'm just waiting for
yeah.
those commanders to come out, and then I'll sort of go by there. Hopefully, my ideally, well, the next cav commanders get announced, and then we get the commander swap so that I sort of have a rough idea of where I'm going to go into. Because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm running Boudica and
Yeah,
YSG
if
still, so I don't know if I swap into Asher
yeah,
or
so
not.
I don't have Asher and I don't have Philip right now.
Yeah,
I well, I don't have Max. I right now the plan is to swap Boudica for Philip for me. You know.
yeah, and then run Herman YSG still because you run that already, don't you?
Yeah, I'll run. I'm happy with Herman YSG. Like people
Yeah,
are, I don't know. I'm happy with it. It does a massive amount of damage, and like that's why like I don't think I ever really covered this, but like when you do a DPS test, Herman YSG does more damage than Herman. But
yeah,
like it's always done like very well. Like I'm actually very happy with that march. Very underrated.
yeah. I just think Boudica's getting pretty old, and I don't want to wait another year for the next Archer commanders to come out. So I think I'll probably swap into either Philip or into Asher.
Yeah, like
Um,
Boudica for me was like very frustrating, but she's actually held up really well behind ZL, right? But like
yeah,
every other march, I tried running Boudica YSG. I think a lot of people have done that before. I tried running Boudica ZL behind it, and it was way worse. And then once you put ZL in front of Boudica, that combination actually does pretty well. Um,
yeah. I ran Boudica YSG for our past five, and then I did ZL Boudica for Kingsland, and definitely traded
yeah. Which
better overall.
which noob decided to crit infantry gear with leadership? Was that Gino? No, I'm just kidding. No, he's in the
Yeah,
chat.
it
He's in the chat.
sounds
Hey,
like
look
a
at
Gino
that.
move.
Hey, 2489 is winning. They're running away. All right. I don't really have anything else. You have anything?
Nah, I think I don't know. Overall, I think Phillips he's like seems a bit underwhelming, but it's hard to tell from this, obviously.
I would say again like low medium confidence at DPS wise from
Yeah,
swarming. LC, I mean Philip doesn't seem to actually add much value. Um, and again, you have to like try to reason it away. If I had to reason it away, I think it's just the 2 seconds just isn't long enough,
yeah,
right? So like subbing out LC like LC William Wallace for LC Alex, actually the DPS was the same, and this is only hitting one target, right? So Alex's debuff actually applies to 3 targets. So you should expect it to actually add more value if we were doing like 5v5 as opposed to 5v1.
yeah,
Having said that, if you're weighing in the DPS, I because like I think a logical place a lot of people wanted to go was to sub out Alex for Philip. right?
Yeah.
Which is why, like, you know, to be fair too, I think Alex's debuff is the best debuff in the game, right? Because
Yeah.
like if you think like
It's up
30,
there.
because like if you think like 30% health debuff is making someone take about, depending on how much health they already have, right? And then like what the tech is at, all that stuff. Like, but somewhere from like 14 to 18% more damage, right? And then we're
Yeah.
like, oh, Scipio's healthy buff is so good. You're doing a 30% all damage taken. That's way better, and you're doing that to 3 targets for 4 seconds. Like, there's just
Yeah,
no,
the 4 seconds seems the big one as well.
yeah, right. Like belly, that's instant, right? So like it's instant as soon as you connect, and then provided the target surrounded. But that's only 12%, and I think that's really good. Most 12% is really good, but also because you don't have to have the active skill for that to happen. But I'm trying to think of any other like debuff. There's just no other debuff as good as Alex's debuff. Right, so if you could keep him
Yeah, I
on the
think the
field,
duration is so big on that as well, because you're more likely to hit your active skills on your other marches at the same, like,
yeah. So
during that period.
so if you could keep Alex on the field, you want to keep him on the field. So even if like Lucha Philip trades better, like Lucha Alex is disgusting with the trades.
Yeah.
So like if I could bring, I still think like, yeah, like I'm still gonna try running ZL Philip. Like I know it'll do okay at the very least, right?
But yeah, I think it'll do better than Boudica.
Over
I don't know if it'll be.
Boudica.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have Asher, I think.
Yeah. Actually, wait, do you still have the thing open?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just try one more. Let's just actually try the 5 I would run. Let's see. Let me write this down. Oops.
Are you running Ragnar Skippy, or are you doing Guan Skippy?
I'm doing Ragnar Skippy. I would have actually skipped Ragnar. I would have skipped Ragnar if the commander swap wasn't there, I think.
Yeah.
And part of the reason it's also banking on, dude, that freaking SVIP teleport is so fucking cool.
Yeah, no.
So far from getting it.
Yeah, we'll get there one day.
Yeah, the part of the reason why is like I'm actually, I don't know, in the back of my mind, I just can't get over that like Lilith is gonna let Guan fade away.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably come out with another museum to keep them relevant enough where like I actually probably would have skipped Ragnar, honestly. But okay, let's do LC Alex.
Yep.
We will do ZL Philip. Herman YSG.
Yep.
So we're gonna sub out William for this. That's 3 marches. We'll do Ragnar Skippy. And then we'll do Nevsky jumped.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Let me know when you're here. Let me actually pull up your
Good to
screen
go.
again. There you go. All right, let's take a look. This is last test. $32. A lot of AoE. YSG shouldn't perform that well in this context. 1 target.
Yeah.
Let's see. 32.
If you get a 31 here, you're going to be pretty much equal. Yeah, pretty much equal, nearly with the. Maybe close to the base.
Yeah, it's a little higher. 31.
You average out at 32.
32, yeah. So the baseline was 31.8, right?
Yeah.
So if I was running 6 field marches, I would do those 5, and then I would actually, I mean, I'll switch. I would do Nevsky William, and then Joan Belly.
Yeah.
Joan
Yeah, I
Belly,
think that's probably the 6 to go for.
yeah, and then I would actually, I mean, I'm not running Hua. Uh, the only thing I would say with Joan Belly is don't put any March speed on there. I ran that this last KVK with the extra like fashion. I think it's extra like 15.
Yeah.
Is it 15% March speed or
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
20% from William? That thing was so fast, right? But it was so much faster than every other March I had. Like whenever I targeted something and they just started surrounding and flaring out, that Joan Belly March was just like literally like teleport way out of position into it, and it was actually very frustrating. And it was like
Yeah.
I probably should have just not run it. But when you're running 2 cap marches and the other one has William, you just run it there where you don't, and it felt like a waste to not use it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's pretty much the 6 I'll be running, except I'm still unsure who I'm going to swap into for, so I don't know if I'll do Ragnar or Guan, but...
I mean, I haven't used. I don't know. Everyone's saying it does well. Like I believe them. I think it'll at least do. It'll definitely trade better. When Big King was running it,
sure.
he told me on average it traded about 15% better than Guan
Yeah,
Skip.
that's what Chadsky said, similar sort of about that, yeah.
Yeah, so you're figuring it trades 15% better. Group overall utility, right? And you're not going to be able to show that in the DPS test. But the silence is gonna make you take less damage, right? So like affecting the bigger group, Guan's gonna have like more value with his silence than Ragnar's Drain, right? So like it's a upgrade. Like individually, it'll trade better. It's an upgrade. DPS, I think you'll definitely do more. Like it's just one of those where like if you're ahead in gold heads, I think it's definitely worth it. With a commander swap, if it could help you get further ahead, I think it's worth it. I think if you already have Guan Scipio and you're like a newer player and you're trying to catch up, I just think there's other places to go. I do not think Ragnar is like a S tier commander, right? Like just from an investment standpoint, they're just I just don't see it with the longevity.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be helpful if you ever do that King of Britain KVK, but
like here, this is what Ragnar is. Okay, like Tariq Ibn Ziyad, right, the rally commander. When he first came out, it was like 2,500 damage. Right, he was huge, right? So like Ragnar is a 3-target AOE version of that, but there's nothing else that he brings that like it'll keep him around beyond that. So like commanders like Ashurbanipal, Ragnar, Tariq, these like big damage commanders that are really good until their damage isn't so much better than everyone else. Like they'll fall off. Whereas a lot of these like debuff and buff, like even like Tommy, right? Tommy was around for a lot longer than she should have been, just because she had that poison that no one else had, right? So you know you need something to replace Nevsky's like defense debuff. You need something to replace ZL's like 5-target, 20% less damage dealt debuff, Herman's poison. These things to me are better long-term investment. So like there's like investment from like future proofing versus just like what's actually really good on the field right now. And ideally, the commander you invest in is also a good long-term one. But like commanders like Asher and Ragnar to me are really good now, right? But if you kind of reach like a next level of power creep where their damage isn't so outrageous compared to the everyone else, like they could still be slightly better. They drop off value way faster than say like Herman, right? Because like Herman's poison, it's gonna scale, right? So as you have a next generation of commanders, they do more damage. That poison is also going to scale with that. Whereas like nothing from Ashurbanipal will scale with that. It's just a single march. So
yeah, I think like if you're going to replace someone next Archer cycle, it's going to be Asher as well, or YSG. But
yeah, it'll be Asher YSG. Now the difference between Asher and YSG. I mean, Asher is just a better commander than YSG, right? But like
Yeah,
62.5% skill damage, right?
it's
Again,
massive.
that's gonna keep
Yeah,
scaling up. That's gonna keep scaling up. Whereas Asher brings 20%. So, um, like it's like one of those where Asher's been better now, but you get to the future where skill damage like increase is more important. Like there could be, I could easily present a scenario where YSG could become more valuable than Asher because like you're taking him for the skill damage increase more than his actual like damage, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think I'm sort of tempted between Philip, Ragnar, and Asher for this commander swap. And if we get two, right, I think I'll probably end up just doing Philip and Ragnar.
yeah, that that's what I decided on too because I actually
Yeah,
don't have the three, right? I had enough commander heads to max one and still stay on track with the next release, and I had to choose another one. So I actually
yeah,
chose Philip and Ragnar, and I'm skipping Asher.
yeah, yeah. I've still got 1,500 heads in the bank as well,
Oh,
but I don't have Bally and I don't have Huo. So depending on the next Cav cycle, I'm assuming I'll have to go into probably Bally and then the new one, or whatever
yeah.
the pairings work out to be.
But
Then I'll just
even
do it there.
here, but here's a cool thing with Philip, right? I mean, you could potentially just run the new Cav with Philip
Yeah,
because
exactly. That's the thing. Yeah,
if the new Cav is combo attack, which we don't know, right? Skill damage increase doesn't matter, right?
yeah,
So like if let's just say the new Cav is a combo attack commander, you're not going to run the combo attack commander with Joan because Joan really will benefit from Huo or Belly or Nevsky dramatically increasing the skill damage, right? And combo
yeah,
attack doesn't benefit from skill damage. So like, if the new Cav is combo attack, Philip will actually be like logically probably the best choice with that commander.
yeah.
And then if you do that, then what is it? Then you'll have a hole with your archers. It's a
Yeah, but then I could still run Boudica, ZL, or ZL Boudica, which is
yeah.
not the end of the world.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna swap like Sargon or something.
Yeah, I'll probably swap Sargon and I don't know
Yeah.
who else. Like, I've got a few options. I'm not too
Yeah, I actually have
stressed.
to think about that because like my plan right now is to swap Boudica, right? But if I
Yeah,
swap Boudica, I literally won't have an archer to pair with ZL.
yeah. If you take Philip
Or
somewhere else.
if I decide to move Philip somewhere else, but then by then the new archer should be out, right? So
Yeah.
it'll be more of a
I think the
temporary thing.
thing to be careful about as well is you don't want to swap someone out that has a good auxiliary skill or
Yeah,
support
that
skill or
oh
whatever.
god, yeah, that's when it starts getting into that because like I forgot who it was. Who was I talking to? I feel like I thought I was like an account mentor mentoring or something.
Yeah,
Right? It's like it was like okay, well, what do I do? Do I sub out Ramses, Artemisia, right? Like it was all these commanders. Like none of them are really that relevant anymore. But then it became a
yeah,
conversation. Okay, if you're doing a KVK with auxiliary skills, which auxiliary skills do you want to miss out on? Like an Artemisia has one where you get 20% defense and 20% health, which is
yeah,
really fucking good, right?
yeah,
And then Ramses doesn't his skill like he has one that's like 40% attack and he has one where you kind of heal. But the if you ask me between Ramses and Artemisia, Artemisia's like skill is better, but I feel like I see
yeah,
Ramses in Bastions way more often. I feel like every KVK
yeah,
Ramses is in the Bastion, and Artemisia is
yeah,
not always in the Bastion, right? So like
yeah. I
you're like
reckon that Amanitore or whatever is the arch to
how
get
do
rid
you
of if you got her.
yeah how
But
do you even decide like Artemisia or
yeah,
Ramses as far as like for the future account, right? It's lower on the priority list, but I don't know. That's
yeah.
kind of hard to determine too. All right.
Get rid of Gilgamesh and Amanitore or whatever her name
Yeah,
is, and then you're
Gilgamesh is cook. If I had it, but I don't have Gilgamesh or Monotore,
yeah.
so
I
like
mean, infantry's hard as well. I guess maybe if a call you get rid of or Harold Sigurdsson, but you're like, yeah, you see some of these in bastions and stuff as well.
yeah, you just you literally need someone like the ideal commander to swap out would be Edward. They're like
Yeah,
Edwards, like Yes. Oh, actually, no. Even Edward has a good one.
No,
Edward has
it's,
one with like a
yeah.
bunch of march speed and health, right?
Yeah, 30% both,
Yeah.
I
So
think
like
it
every
is.
one of these commanders, like
Yeah.
Boudica's kit actually is really good if you want to take one skill and use it.
Yeah.
Like she actually has a really good kit. She's too slow and she doesn't increase skill damage. She's single target. There's too many
Yeah,
holes
exactly.
for her to pair well. But actually almost every one of her skills, like it can actually be a really good auxiliary skill. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
cross that bridge when we get there.
the issue with the commander swap's going to be it's like the older accounts are going to still benefit where they can swap dead old commanders, where newer accounts are going to have to swap out sort of semi-old meta ones, and then when you get to like Orleans or
Yeah.
Bastions and stuff, they're still going to be behind.
What would be the best commander you can swap out? Assuming you can't. Okay, this is my theory. There's no like actual info on this. I think you will be able to swap gold key commanders, but the
You do it.
only I think you will. But I think the
Yeah.
only the heads or the points you get from it will be universal sculptures you put into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think if you like open a gold key and you got like commander specific sculptures, I don't think they're gonna like count that for you. Right. You
Yeah,
can
and I think
compare
it'd be
whether
the
it's
same
fair.
with
Yeah.
like the harvesting or the gathering ones because you can just use the
Yeah,
chests.
yeah. But if you use gold heads, I think it would actually here.
Yeah.
Well, like what would actually be the best commander to swap that has like no useful skill that someone actually invested in?
Well, yeah,
Right.
who someone invested in. I don't know. That's the hard part.
Because like every single one of these, I could see a case. I could see a case where like you could make a case that it could be useful, right? They're either gold head or they at least have like a useful skill.
And you get rid of Suleiman maybe or Moctezuma or something, but
Yeah, if you invested in them though.
yeah,
El
that's the
Cid,
thing.
but
Yeah,
see,
you
El
gotta have
Cid,
them.
Novocaine, El Cid's a gold key, right? So I was actually thinking Boudica, because Boudica's newer, so she doesn't show up in Bastions, right? But
Yeah.
maybe at some point she'll get old enough, and like, I mean, this
The
is
issue with them only doing gold heads is some of the old
yeah,
commanders they don't have that data on when you look into it on your own.
yeah.
Which then how do they dictate that? I still think they're going to make it that you have to swap troop type for troop type, which
You
could
think it'll be
sort of
troop type for
impact a
troop
lot of
type?
people. I don't know. I think that's just I can't see them making it this complete free for all week and like it's like just
I
do whatever you want.
I don't
Like that would be
actually,
great,
yeah,
but yeah,
I actually don't think they'll do it, but
yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
see.
like confident. I just don't. I don't see like the because it's essentially like an extra layer of gatekeeping, right? But like,
Yeah,
what's the upside of gatekeeping it? Because if you're gonna allow them to swap, well, then you're gonna tell them like, right? Because like if you okay, these are literally these are the leadership commanders. So like if it has to be
yeah,
leadership to
exactly.
leadership, which I was gonna do it for Philip. Uh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
Right? Like I guess
let
you're
down
like
some.
you're almost like forcing me to go Asher Benepal.
Yeah, I hope it's not, and I think
Yeah.
this commander swap has been such like it's sort of revitalized a lot of people that if they mess it
Yeah.
up,
Yeah. Oh,
it's gonna impact
it's
them
gonna
more.
piss people off.
Yeah, like it's worth them making it maybe wider than they originally planned to keep the whole player base happy rather than pissing off half the people by saying actually you can't do
Yeah.
this, this, and this.
But I actually don't. Let's see. Like, what would actually be a really? Would it be? I don't know. It becomes like maybe it's like someone like Chandra Gupta or something.
Yeah.
If you had to swap one out for another, I don't know. I could see a downside for almost every commander that someone would have invested in, right? Because like
Yeah.
Herald, like it would be really cool. Oh, Khan. There you go. Let's see. Khan is Khan the best choice? Let me see.
Yeah,
Does he have
maybe Khan,
no good skill? Okay. I mean,
That's the
if
thing,
you
like
could, but if you could like put this like, could you imagine like you're in? I imagine you could use this skill in Orleans though, right? Oh, he also
I
makes
mean
you
Sargon would
slower.
be good as well, but you can use him on your swarm team, you can use him on
Oh, Sargon, no, Sargon would be my number one choice.
yeah.
Well, maybe yeah, but like, dude, if you could make a march fire their active skill with 100 less rage, that's like
Yeah.
really freaking good too.
Like I've got an
That's really
expertise
good.
Khan, but I can't see my development cost because it was before 2020 or whatever. So
Yeah.
hopefully they just say, oh, there must have been all universals, and then they can do it. But yeah,
How do I have a 313 con? This is actually disgusting. When did I use, there's no way. Let me see. This will be embarrassing.
yeah, let's roast you on stream.
Oh no, I have 50 cons heads in here. It's probably just from like some random stuff I picked up in like
Sovereign keys and stuff,
summer
probably.
keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, there's no way. I'm like,
I mean, that guy that invested into Leonidas instead of skipping Leonidas will be happy.
oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
He can
Oh,
just swap
maybe
straight into what he
Henry.
wanted now.
But see, Henry, I never maxed. I just put like 180 gold heads in him.
Yeah.
But see, like even Henry, like I feel like every commander, if you could like pick one skill that you could like want to use, I don't know, man. This is. I think I'm just gonna go with Boudica and just not overthink it. It's too easy to like
Yeah, you can get too lost into this,
go in the
just
weeds. Yeah,
thinking through it,
I think we just
and then you'll regret it later. Yeah.
if I could do Boudica for fill up, I'm gonna do it, and then make me the same troop
Yeah.
type. I'll probably switch Boudica for Asher Benepal. I think I just stick with that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we're going to get a year out of Asher anyway, so it's not like a bad investment before the next cab coming out. So,
For the next archer.
I mean, the next Archer, sorry, coming out. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still high on Philip though. You know, the DPS thing was disappointing. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think though, once you're doing like a 5v5, it'll be different as well.
Yeah.
With Cubist Mike's report manager, can you see other people's reports? Like,
Yeah.
if you look into a commander, so you could, yeah, I guess now like we're going to start getting reports from like this 1960 KVK and stuff as well. So it'd be good to see.
Yeah. Well, the early feedback from people that are using Lucha Philip in the field is they're very happy with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just hopefully someone's using ZL Philip or as well as would be the thing. But
someone messaged me in game like showing me reports of it. But like the important thing is like you this is why like you have to be able to do a comparison, right? Because the reports could be good, but you have to be able to compare it to something else, right?
yeah, they could also just be like farm killing or whatever. Like you got to look into the context.
Or they could just be like dominating someone else on the field, right? So
yeah, exactly.
if you show me the report, it doesn't mean anything. But if you show me the report, okay, so it's you playing, right? So you have the exact same playing style, provided you're not cheeseburger and you're fighting the open field. You're using the same equipment, you're using the same armament, but now you're actually showing me you've ran say like 40 field reports of ZL Boudica versus like ZL Philip, and then you could show me like a significant enough difference. All of a sudden, okay, that's pretty good, right? But if you just show me a really good ZL Philip report, like
yeah, you can make any report look good if you.
Yeah, it could look good, but like, how is your ZL Boudica doing? How is your ZL Asher doing? Right, like relative to it. So, I don't know. Like a lot of it is just it's fun, it's interesting. So I caveated this in the beginning, right? If you guys are watching this, this is literally for entertainment purposes. Like you could, at most, I could have some like low medium confidence takes, but it's really just not. It just depends. There's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anyways, I think this will be the end of the stream. Thank you for waking up super early.
No stress, dude.
And doing this. Hopefully, you have an okay time at work today.
It's alright. I've only got 2 days left for the year, and I got a month off, so I'll
oh,
work
really?
through it.
Oh shit! I should have just waited an extra 2 days and did this. All right, let me see.
It's Christmas and stuff. I'll be away, so.
Okay, I think we're gonna raid Plato. How's Plato's? We'll rate Plato.
And Plato's speeds and VIP from 60 is making me jealous.
Oh yeah, is he getting a lot of speeds?
He posted a video today, got like 800 days of speeds in the month he's been there, and 400k VIP.
Oh really? I can see the VIP stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How much speeds are we getting in the same amount of time? Do I want to know?
No. Yeah, I was gonna say no.
No.
I mean, have we been at a KVK for however long?
All right. You know what? Plato has enough people watching him. We're gonna raid Farmer.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna raid Farmer. All right, guys. But thanks for watching. Thank you so much to Toby for joining us. One last plug for 3092. Our pop ends tomorrow, but from what we found out, our last day to bring in migrants will actually be a reset of December 26th. So if you're interested in joining us, coming up for this upcoming KVK fight, I mean, I can even share. We're gonna queue for Orleans, I think. Right. So Orleans in the next few days, definitely hit us up. The migration is on the screen. Migrate to SV.com. That's on Discord, or you can message me on Discord. It's 92 Bus Driver. You need any info. I will say this for the people that are watching. We obviously we want fighters, right? But we also, based on our timeline and for a lot of how we want to build a kingdom, taking like young, promising fighting accounts. So maybe out of like KVK 4, 5, and 6, the KP could be a little bit lower. But we actually see like you did a good job of building your account, and your KP relative to your account age is like good, and there's like activity, all that stuff. We're very interested in those accounts. So if you're interested, please apply. I'd love to play with you for this next KVK. You get to hang out with Toby.
Get some more Aussies in there. I need some people.
Yeah, get some more Aussies. So we have a more balanced. No, don't we have a couple Aussies?
It's just me.
Oh,
But we've got
right
two
now?
more coming in.
Oh,
So,
two more coming
yeah.
in. Okay. Yeah. So definitely, love to play with you guys if you're interested. If kind of you like the vibe of the kingdom. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Toby. We are going to raid Farmer.